Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 170 of Peace Talk. We are still within the apex of the new moon in Scorpio, which is an Aries signature with the conjunction. And as timing may have it, thankfully, our guest today is actually, Scorpio representative of the Aries moon persuasion. You may know this brother as the sauce god who be commenting in the chats. Yep. This peace talk has been long overdue. And without further ado, what's good, brother? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? that was a spicy introduction.
Yeah. We know you, bro, and you definitely be putting in work, showing up.
Boy.
So I'm very glad to have you on here. This is really dope.
I appreciate you having me for real. I'm locked out of my email temporarily, so I can't really comment in the chat. But if you guys can hear me, that's good.
That's what's up. And where are you at right now?
Actually, right now I'm in Phoenix, Mesa, Tempe area.
Tempe. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I got word from Carrie you were out there with, of course, Royal.
Yes. I'm still getting used to the fact that this whole area is like one giant mega city thing. I guess I don't know, but it's nice. And I was called here, so shout out to everybody that says what's up.
So you felt so your trip out there was more like a call, like intuitively a nudge to just go out.
Yes.
Okay.
When I say this was a faith journey, this was 100% a faith journey. I was in New York before.
New York.
Yes.
Oh,
And I left with $25 in my gas tank.
wow.
And you're even minorly good at math, $25 in gas
Wait,
is not going to get you anywhere near it.
So you left with just $25 in gas and made it to Arizona. That's already fine.
Yes. A bunch of blessings and provision along the way. So I have to show gratitude and give thanks for that. 100%.
That's awesome, man. So are you from New York?
Yeah. So at risk of a long ass backstory, but I was born in Hawaii, and I grew up in Brooklyn for about like 5 years, but then the rest of that was in Long Island, town called Lakeview. Went to school out there, and then I left when I was 22. So yeah.
Word. What's school in New York like? In Long Island or Lakeview?
So I actually have distinct memories of going to school in Brooklyn. Don't know why I remember the school name, but I went to school. It was named PS 235, and then I moved out to school in Long Island, which was completely different. On the honor roll for however, don't really care about that. I doubt you guys care about my high school career, but
right. It's cool though. Good to know. So yeah, shout out to the East Coast. That's what's up. Do you miss the snow at all, or like the cold weather?
Sometimes.
Okay, word.
Sometimes.
I was never a fan of that, so I'm just like happy not to deal with that. But it wasn't all bad. It was never really all bad, even though we'd get just like feet of snow every winter. But like,
I enjoy the snow enjoyed the snow for like the first couple days, and it's like, all right, I'm done.
Right? Yeah. It's good to look at, but that's about it. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of cold weather. I mean, it can be extremely cold or extremely hot, but makes me appreciate balance, have that nice like 70, 60 degree weather. How hot is it out in Arizona? I mean, especially now that it's coming into the fall.
Well, I was told that it gets like 115, 120, but I've only been here like 3 weeks. So I've been getting like a calm 80, 85 degrees, which I know to some people is really calm, but to me it's like I get to sit in the sun sometimes. So it's not that bad. I like it.
Is it like 80 out there right now?
Yeah, actually. It's 85 degrees where I'm at right now.
That's crazy. It's like in the 60s. It's like 68 over here. 60, 70. It's getting a little chilly. But
that's wild. We came in through Sedona, and the day that I left, that's when it got cold, and I was like, ooh. So
okay, in New York.
No, well, yes, actually, but in Sedona as well.
In Sedona as well. Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's cool. So yeah, basically, um, we know. So you linked up with Royal on the way
Mhm.
to Arizona. How's she doing? Shout out to her.
Yeah, she's good. She's good. Shout out to you as well. We kind of did the drive for it was like I forgot how long it was, maybe like a day, if that, like 14 hours. But yeah, she's good. She's chilling. Yeah,
Awesome.
thank you.
That's what's up. I got to meet her when I visited my friend in Dallas, and it was awesome. We met at this dispensary out there.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it was a dispensary. Yeah. Versus like a shop. But yeah, man. Once again, really nice to have you on here live. That's
Yeah,
what's up.
I'm excited. And I was like, this has been, oh, like you said, overdue.
Yeah, most definitely. And for those who may not be aware, what's your sun, moon, and rising?
My sun is Scorpio. It's actually 21 degrees.
Okay.
Moon is Aries, and rising is Capricorn. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot you have the Cap rising.
Yeah.
That's true.
I forget what
So
degree it is, but my
is it like in the beginning or near the end? Is it like later?
I don't know. I can actually look it up real quick because I've got
Okay.
all my stuff. But my moon is 2 degrees.
2 degree moon. Okay.
Yeah. I make the joke that it's like I'm like 32, 33 degrees Pisces moon. But
32 degree. I love that. I love that. That's cool. That's cool. I like that. I'm gonna start thinking of it like that. And then yeah, you what's it like to feel the nodes? I know it's like not near your moon yet, but it's getting closer
oh
every
well,
other day.
like
Feel that purpose.
yeah, definitely. Like I feel it early too. Like I don't know if it's because of my Saturn, but I feel the energies like really early. And I kind of have to like temper myself, otherwise I jump the gun and fuck a bunch of shit up. Excuse my
Yeah.
French.
I
Um,
feel it on the Aries part. We get really
yeah. But this morning during your ceremony, like I could feel like my body was like changing almost. Like I could feel the upgrades coming in. It was weird. Like I got dizzy and everything.
so I appreciate you saying that because 21 degrees of your sun is actually exactly where the new moon was on your sun.
That's wild.
Yeah, exactly 21
That's
degrees.
wild.
So, and then Mars is 22. So you saying that means a lot. I like to think that when a transit or something like a new moon or full moon is on someone's exact sun or moon, it's like the essence of that energy is playing out specifically through you, and other people who have that. So, it's a blessing. It's really dope. And that's a solar return, the new moon, a solar return, new moon too. That's
Yes,
really
yes,
dope.
yes, yes.
So
And
this is I was gonna say, so this year you start a new cycle, new
mm-hmm.
transformation, new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, and that's what it looks like too. You're out a new place, the fake
Yep.
trip.
Yep.
That's
It's like
beautiful, man.
it's like this whoever wrote my story was like new characters, new setting, new powers, everything new. Get to it. And I'm like, damn, all right, no pressure.
That's what's up. And and you got Pluto on your rising, right?
Pluto, my son, actually.
No, my bad. Okay, so you do have Pluto on your sun in the natal
Yes.
chart, but you also
Yeah.
have Pluto transiting your rising right now.
Oh,
It's
for real?
it's
Nope.
27 degrees in the first house or 28 degrees. It's like right at the end of Capricorn transiting your first. So I've always been curious about that because what's that like? You know what I mean? Like I feel it on my moon, but like you're embodying this Plutonian thing, and then it's different for you, bro, because unlike other Capricorn risings, you have Sun Pluto, so it's like you're literally embodying this original Hades vibration. And do you feel like you're like an omen for endings? It's like if someone sees you come through in the building, or have you noticed that when you're joining stuff, things are ending or they're starting to begin? I'm really curious at this point because that's
Yeah. So, quick sidetrack. I did find the degree of my rising, and it's 5 degrees 54 minutes.
5 degrees. Okay,
Yeah,
cool,
yeah,
cool.
5 degrees cap. But you're speaking on things that I've kind of been discovering these last couple years. Like,
Okay.
when I was younger, I was always wondering like why I could never get away with anything.
That's
You-
deep.
Yes,
So
It
deep.
is. It is. It's beautiful out here. Look at that. But yeah, like, and then I realized, like in high school, college, that I was being prepared for my role as an emissary of karma, so to speak. At
Yeah.
least that's what I called it.
I needed to hear you say that because I've always
Yeah.
had the theory that the Saturnians, like, we can't really just get away with, like, you don't get a slap on the wrist.
Nope.
But like
Nope.
for you to say that that's been since early childhood is like really key, dude. That's
Thank you,
very.
Tim. I appreciate you. Thank you.
You have Saturn in Aquarius or Pisces?
Pisces.
Okay, third house. So you're returning reality warping divine abilities, which I can only imagine is cool too. The Neptune and Saturn in your third, with the trine of the sun. Like I'll definitely want to open up and talk about astral travels, supernatural awakenings, because with the Sun Pluto that my theory on that is that Sun Plutos are aware of how they awaken people. Like you actually, expose or bring light to those deep parts. But in Scorpio, it's on a whole nother level, I believe. So it's like,
Yeah.
talk to us about what that's like. Is it true? Do you have X-ray vision with the Sun Pluto? Like you just be seeing through people?
Yeah. And shout out to Elisha for calling me out literally 5 minutes in. Thank you for not giving me any time to just no, but yeah, no, it's I don't want to say so bad, but it's so bad to the point where people don't believe me when I speak on things. And
Oh, I like that. I like
yeah,
that.
and I've seen things like be informed to me that they're going to play out in a certain way almost so early that the problem or the seed that would grow into the problem that I would see, or the events playing out that I would see, hasn't even happened yet. And then sometimes I'm gaslighted into being like, oh no, you're the problem, or sometimes it's like, no, it's fine. And then when shit pops off, it's like 2 years later, like, oh yeah, so you were right. You were right. And I'm just like,
If you guys are familiar with Esco, who's like made the intro videos for my stuff, he used to room with me at some point, and like he's also Sun Scorpio Pluto, and he said he was born like 86 or around there, like late 80s, 80s. But like that's one thing that he would do. Like he would like be able to go on Instagram and be like, oh, that person's subbing you. And it's like that person doesn't. I don't even know that person. Like it's like y'all can just look at stuff and be like, no, that was a subliminal. That was a subliminal. Or like it'll just come off mad paranoid though, and it'll really look like you guys are just like. And as an air sign too, it could be easy for me to dismiss and just be like, oh, okay, so like not that you're crazy, but I think maybe you guys are seeing too much in this stuff. But
just a little bit.
you'll always be right though. It'll end up coming back around like, fuck, how did you know that? Like, how are you right? And that's the thing that scares me about Scorpio, because it's like now I see why it's a sign of trust. Like Pisces is belief, because they see the unseen. So you have to take their word for it. You have to believe they're not frauding you. Scorpio is so in tune deeply. You have to trust them. You have to trust that they're not deceiving you. That's why like Scorpios and Pisces who are in integrity, y'all are like pure legends. Like it's so rare. It's so rare to find one water sign energy that's not corrupted, that's not betrayed and taken out on other people. It's an honor.
So that's actually another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. The whole corruption or being integrity. That's like super important. Like one of my I guess my shadow work chapters was making sure that I'm always in integrity. Because even if I step out of line even a little bit, it's not other people that will call me out. It's legit the vehicle of karma and death and Pluto and my whole shit'll get smoked out. So like I can't not be integrity, because like if I want to have any progress, be it socially, spiritually, emotionally, whatever, I have to be in integrity 112, 111% of the time.
And what's so important about this, guys, is Lyness is 100% breaking down what it means to be the embodiment of integrity, a Capricorn rising. This is, and I have a question for you. I spoke to my Pisces brother the other day. Shout out to Bliss. He's also a Cap rising, just like Colby. He has a Cap, Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, Moon on the rise.
I can't be in the same room with Kobe because we're
Sun in Pisces. It's just Colby got the Moon in Scorpio, but they still got similar archetype. So one thing
he's the type of dude that if I get in the same room with him, we're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, 100,000%. 100 that sun moon could just it'd just be too much fuckery, too much wisdom. People go, yeah. But like, I want to ask this question to you, Colby, and any other Capricorn rising, because this is something that I realized made me respect more the 12th house. You guys have 12th house Sagittarius. And so with the third house Pisces, it's like your sense of inner doubt or how you can hold yourself back is that, mind you, you guys are God level. Capricorn, Aqua, and Pisces is elite. Sagittarius is the doorway into the elite. It becomes elite. So like, you could be passionately explaining to someone how, oh my gosh, I just saw a kangaroo beat up on an old lady. And like, it's crazy. I've never seen anything like that. And like, as you're saying that, the person who you're talking to, let's say it's me, as you're saying a kangaroo beat up an old lady, there's a truck behind you that has a kangaroo on it and an old lady with a black eye. You know what I'm saying? And then you turn her, and then I'm like, wow. And then you turn around and you don't see it. So it's like you could be like, I feel like, let me know if this is right, Capricorn rising. It's like you literally create reality real time, and you could be like, damn, I want $1 million, and the $1 million appears in a bag behind you, but then you turn around and the $1 million isn't there because maybe you didn't realize. It's like you're not even realizing you are creating it real time, and because it's real time, you know what I'm saying? So is that resonate with you at
Like,
all? Like, how does
I feel like you're calling me the fuck out. That's
oh my god, that's
no,
crazy.
because like, and that happens all the time. And the thing is that if you don't notice it, like if you don't listen, because it's always like, at least from my experience, it's always a an audio cue that the bag is there. And then when you turn around and it's gone, like there's always
Mhm,
like you always hear, all right, like I can smell it, right? Like my
mhm.
clearest, my strongest clear sense is my sense of smell. Like, so like, following your metaphor, I can smell the money, and I'm like, I know there's money around here somewhere, and I can't find it. But like sometimes you step into the point where you gaslight yourself into thinking you're just bugging, or
Right. Yeah.
like you're being paranoid because there's Scorpio, which is like, I know everything but not really, but like I'm dark but not really, because people are gaslighting me and I'm gaslighting me. And then back on the Capricorn, like, yeah, no, you're not bugging, but you're
Yeah.
definitely bugging. And
Yeah.
yeah, and then the Aries moon doesn't even help, because then it's like when you find out you're not bugging and you know you're not bugging, it pisses you off.
The Aries is just so quick to get riled up, which I
Yes.
used to not like, but I respect so much now because it just Aries don't play that. But yeah, man, like I felt like, you know, when let's say with that analogy, you like, I have $1 million, boom, the bag is there. But then the moment you're like, all right, this is what I'm going to do to get the $1 million. Now you're canceling out the manifestation because you feel like you have to like do something to get it or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just made me respect that upper echelon level of representation, embodiment. And I love that you're finally at this stage of your Saturn return. You know what I'm saying? I think you just
Yes.
recently gave birth, you know, you recently just had a child, right?
Yes, yes, yes. She's 13 months old, and she's probably the smartest being I've ever encountered on this world.
Wow,
I'm
that's
not gassing my own child up, and I'm not like be like my genes are better. Like it's scary how smart she is sometimes.
what sign is the mom and what sign is her again?
So her mom is a Taurus. Taurus, Leo, Leo.
Taurus, Scorpio.
Yes, I know. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
what you're.
I know.
Okay, I
I
see
know.
you. I
I
see
know. Yeah.
you. Let's get
Um.
it. Natural queen
And
right there.
yes, and
Okay.
she is. She's a Libra sun.
Your
Uh.
daughter?
Yes, yes. My daughter's a
Libra is
Libra
the
sun.
sign of intelligence. So you
Yeah.
saying that she's super smart is 100,000% accurate. I love
Yes.
that.
Which is also my midheaven. So I know for a fact that that at least my first child especially. I know all my kids whenever they come, because you just know.
You just
But I
feel
know
it.
she is going to help me like achieve that balance that leads me to my Scorpio North
And
node.
inherit your legacy too.
Yes, yes, yes,
I
yes,
love
yes,
that.
yes,
That's
yes.
so beautiful.
So
And then I also like that her son is opposite your moon,
yes,
which is cool too.
yes.
I love that.
Another thing is that her Chiron is actually my moon. So I was,
Ooh,
yes, I was like,
ooh,
ooh. The moment I saw that, I was like, okay, okay, this is like, I got to tempt. This is like, I obviously inner work is always like it's a daily thing, but like I
Yeah.
have to be extra careful about like my emotions and letting myself get
She
riled
gonna
up. And I have
trigger you. She
yes,
gonna
yeah,
trigger you. I love
yeah, and I
that.
always have to hold
But she
myself
gonna heal you too. She gonna heal your heart. I
exactly.
love
That's
that.
the yes.
That's so
Because I realize like if I don't hold myself accountable or to the standard that I speak on or I claim to be at, not only is she going to trigger me, but I'm going to hurt her. And the last thing I
Mhm.
want to do, yeah, like so like we spent years clearing out generational trauma. The last thing I want to do is create new generational trauma because I can't get over my own goddamn ego, right?
Beautiful, beautiful.
So
And
yeah,
then is your North Node in Scorpio or Sag?
Scorpio. Yeah.
Oh, your Sun, Pluto, North Node, and Jupiter?
Yes.
You have
Sun, Pluto, North Node, Jupiter, Venus.
this man is the sauce god. We
Uh
just said it right there. This is sauce god energy. Okay, I'm just telling you.
yeah.
Pluto, Jupiter, and North Node and Venus. That's a wrap.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
beautiful,
Yeah.
bro.
It's
I love
wild. It's
that. Wow.
wild.
And so now with the North Node, another theory I have with the North Node is that um those of you with Sun on the North Node, Moon, you'll feel it. Rising, you represent it. Sun, you activate it. It's like you literally now can transform and activate socially other people's destiny paths. You unlock the groundingness so that you bring people down to the depth, but then you can also kind of transform your destiny in others. That was always a theory, but I would like to see if you experience that. You know what I'm saying? If
So
it's unlocked.
so initially, right, when I started getting into astrology along with whatever other stuff I was researching, I kind of like got discouraged a little bit. I was like, is it my destiny to be Satan for everybody I meet? Because like you kind of gotta drag people through the darkness to
Mhm.
purify their shit so they can come out better. I'm like, am I just destined to be an asshole to everybody I but then I learned that like there's a better way to do it, and it's all about like your perspective. Like the purification doesn't always have to be setting a bitch on fire, right?
Yeah.
Purification can also be distilling and leading people and holding space and caring for. I realize that it comes down to a matter of how they perceive you at any given point in time, right?
Mhm.
Um, because like side note, shout out to Cheza as well. Whenever she gets here,
Shout out to Chelsea.
she taught me about like my human design,
Okay.
and I'm like a 5-3 generator, and I realized, and
Generator gang.
yeah, it resonated so perfectly. Like the way that um, design is set up is that you're either the cause of every the person's problems, like you're the reason for all their problems, or you're their messiah, which gets frustrating because like sometimes you bounce back and forth throughout the course of a relationship with somebody, and sometimes you sit squarely in one or the other, and either way, it's like a lot of pressure.
Mhm.
But yes, Kobe, a walking exorcist. That's what I say. Like
Facts.
I'm an energetic mirror. I show you all the parts about yourself that you may not like, whether it's in how you perceive me or whether I'm just being ain't shit. Like, because we all have our moments,
Mhm.
but it's a matter of like whether or not you're going to face it. Be like, okay, this is how I am, and I'm going to change because I was forced to do that. I can't like I don't know how to explain it, but I can't put the work aside. Like I can't be like, I'll do this later, or I'll address that later, or yes, 100%. Shout out to you, Kobe. Like I have no choice but to go through this stuff myself, so that inevitably when I come across somebody or an energy that needs to go through that themselves,
Yeah.
I can approach it the right way. So I mean,
And seeing you have the Pisces and Scorpio concentration, what is it like to deal with cancers? Because cancers will now bring that all together. It's your seventh house. So do they like move you forward with taking how you feel? And then like if it would be nice to see you on a live with Janice and see how that would work out. You know what I'm saying?
um, I haven't interacted with many cancers, at least to my knowledge,
Okay.
but the ones that I have interacted with, they fall into like two categories. One, it's like they're this really obviously the cliche caring cancer energy, but it's like in a way that's like it kind of not molds you, but it gives you that like a template that you're kind of forced to fill out energetically,
Mm-hmm.
at least
Mm-hmm.
in my perspective. Or on the other hand, if they're like on the yang, they're kind of like trying to control you and take you for themselves and
Okay.
put you in their
Okay.
little cancer bag, and you're like, you're mine now, because they need to.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's wild.
yes.
Good to know. Good to know. Okay. Okay.
But I'm kind of fucked up in the head, so I enjoy that shit. So.
So yeah, relative to that, right? Um, Now, what inspired, like I have in your YouTube channel, I have in the description box below your YouTube channel, and I also have his Cash App, y'all. It is his birthday today. If you guys want to show him some love,
Oh
send
boy,
any kind of change or any kind of money or any kind of love, there's the link down below. At the very least, subscribe to his channel. But
I appreciate
what
it. Nothing is expected, but I appreciate everything that comes my way.
what inspired you to come up with the name? And my question really also is, what is the what would you say inspired your spiritual journey?
So I'll address the name first. Um, and shout out to Latrice because I actually got it from her, and like
Oh, okay.
one of her kids or whatever. Um, she sent me a picture one day. She's like, my daughter put this out, godliness, and she couldn't find an I, so she spelt it with a Y, and it was your name. And I was like, oh, that's fire. And then when I was eating that night, I was like, wait a minute, that clicks. So I kind of was like in pursuit of godliness. So because the goal is not to be God, the goal is to be like God, so that you can be in tune with God's source and all that. Thank you, Latrice. Thank you, Katie, for saying happy birthday, everybody. Appreciate all y'all. Um, and then what inspired me on my journey, ironically enough, was I would say was all the way back in middle school. I appreciate all y'all for saying happy birthday. Thank you very much. What inspired my journey was in middle school. I was like something of a problem child. I'm technically undiagnosed ADHD, and that kind of led to a bunch of problems in middle school. Um, and something happened with one of my vice principals, and I realized like this system was not built for me. Not just in terms of being like a black male, right? But in terms of how I was too smart for my own good, or I was always in adult people business, or you shouldn't be laughing at grown folks' jokes, or why do you get this, or why do you get that, or why are you acting like this? And plus my whole nature to lash out when I felt misunderstood. So it prompted me to be like, okay, well, if this system wasn't made for me, like, why am I here? And that kind of just, yeah, it was a wrap from that point,
Beautiful.
which I would say is kind of jarring for a 12-year-old. Like I always knew, but I didn't really have external evidence until I was squarely in middle school and unpopular and all that. It was like, okay, am I the problem? What's wrong with me? And then it just all hit me at once. I'm like, okay, well, I don't fucks with this. And I guess like the inner Saturn, Mars, Aries, whatever in me was like, I'm gonna do something about it. So yeah.
Beautiful. And now we are hitting the ground running. So what could we expect to see on your channel?
Well, so I think obviously I've got like tarot pulls and stuff. I didn't want to be another tarot YouTuber, excuse me. But then one of my friends was like, "Well, you've got a special energy, and nobody does it like you." Obviously, like it was, but the way he said it, I was like, "Wow, that's a good point. Maybe I can do something with this," because I felt called to do it. Like I was like, I wasn't expecting to be on YouTube, or I'm not really one for the camera, and I'm not really like a fame seeker. But it was like, do it, do it, do it. So I started, and but yeah, so I do tarot and stuff. I haven't posted anything for a while because I've been locked out of my account for like the last 3 weeks. I guess I
Mm,
was supposed to focus on my faith journey, but I'll do tarot videos. I'll do where I'll walk around in a park and I'll speak on something that was on my mind because I noticed that whenever I go for a walk, my brain decides to think. um, and pretty much whatever comes to my mind to do. Maybe I might do like what this card means to me or reading this particular card, but it's pretty much those two or three major things that I felt called to start doing on my channel.
beautiful. Looking forward to watching those readings too. I know they're gonna be fire.
Appreciate
And
it.
that's the thing too. Like as far as like what we start off doing versus how it grows and more. So it'd be nice to see, how you and your page just kind of transform and grow, and you add more capabilities, more. I can see you definitely getting your vlog on too, taking us into the life of Lyness. So
Oh yeah. Yeah. I actually had someone mention that too, because the trip from New York to Arizona was a little bit spicy. So I'm like, well, you should vlog it. And I was like, I'll vlog the next faith endeavor, but this one is
this
for,
person was personal.
yeah. The
Yeah,
first one was between, like I said, between me, God, and the squad. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
love that. I
yeah.
love that. Congratulations, man. It's always nice to make a trip, and it's good to know you're a few hours away from Vegas too. So
Oh
that's
yeah,
something I'll keep in mind.
yeah. And I'm used to driving like 24, 25 hours straight. So if I got, if I gotta come see you, let me know.
Cool, cool. That's wild. Did you used to like drive a truck or something like that for work?
No,
Or?
no. It's actually, well, my mom. She used to take us on trips to Florida from New York when we were young. And then when we got old enough to drive, she was like, "All right, well, I don't want to drive. You guys drive." So I kind of been like trained passively into driving 8, 10, 12, and then yeah, 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 yeah.
Eight,
Hours, not years, hours.
right. 8, 10, 12 is a lot. 24 is
Yeah,
wild.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. When things popped off in Oklahoma, I uh, I drove the 22-hour trip straight just to make sure that my Earth wife and my kid had all the stuff they needed. So
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, so they stay in Oklahoma.
We were in Oklahoma together, and
Okay.
then um, I guess challenge time happened.
Yeah.
Saturn Return decided to say no. So yeah, things happened. I kind of had to send them to New York. Grandmother passed. Went to Guyana for a bit. So yeah, but yeah,
Is that where you're from, Guyana?
that's where my family's from. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, nice. That's
yeah,
what's up.
yeah.
I have a friend called Rude Boy. He's from Guyana too. Shout out to him. It's
Shout out to
freaking
you.
awesome.
Shout out to you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like that's dope, man. That's really dope. Yeah, I was about to say he did say his Earth wife. I love that. I peeped that. That's what's up.
Oh shit. Of course,
Yeah.
leave it up to Queen Dom to peep that.
Are you still accepting applications?
I will not speak on any of that. I respect the agency and authority of the people in my life, and I will not speak on any of that.
Yeah, I feel you. Is he said no, nigga, it's still beef. I love it.
I
Is
know. I don't know what that means.
is your Saturn like 94, right? So your Saturn's like in the middle of Pisces, like near the
5 degrees.
oh,
So
5 degrees Saturn?
yeah. So yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So it's
congratulations.
Saturn.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's bad enough my rising's 5 degrees Cap, my Saturn's 5 degrees Pisces, and I got Neptune and Uranus in Cap as well. And
Mhm.
so like
All on your first house. You got the alien embodiment. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I have no idea what any of that means yet, and there's so much energy and stuff going around. I kind of just have to be like, all right, God source, I'm gonna hold your hand and you're gonna walk me through this because
Yeah.
I would get swept away in my own shit. So
Uranus and Neptune on the rising, you can channel high frequency beings. You can reflect the inherent God and goddess within other beings, assist the dying and crossing over. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, man. I really love that aspect. But yeah, man, it's and I really appreciate this. Like this talk to me is like a milestone. It's like, look how far we've all have come, but we don't even begin to realize what we're just starting right now. Like we're on the precipice of kicking off some legendary shit, which I think is awesome.
yes, 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 I agree. And I was thinking about that this morning during your ritual. I forgot what it was that you said, but the thought that came to my mind was we're about to start seeing those greater works that Jesus was talking about.
Yeah.
And everybody in the chat, everybody that's putting in the work, y'all are all like, I don't think you guys realize just how important y'all are and how, I guess, big of the pillars you are when it comes to building the foundation of the next iteration of human existence. Like I don't think y'all realize. So shout out to everybody for real.
Amen to that. Amen to that. And it'd be nice to see the exploits we all do,
Of course.
Yeah.
What?
So other than that, this is it's really good also knowing you got the 5 degree Saturn, basically the end of the year, coming into the beginning of next year, you officially kick in the return. And
Mm,
the next thing I want to talk about is, the 90s are the 90s are very much so responsible for the collective awakening and activation of these new supernatural abilities. Like the 70s and the 80s were, I think, the most important bridge generation to make way and pave the way for this. If it wasn't for people born in the 60s, 70s, 80s, a lot of us wouldn't really, it would be so much harder for us to really do that. And I feel like the first 390, like 90, 91, 92, 93, really kind of built the beginning of that bridge, really activated it. But everything after like 94 and 95, like y'all are the ones that are really like pioneering and spearheading this. And my question has to do, one, what do you, especially post Virgo season, how do you, what do you believe about the potential of reality warping, where you can just imagine certain things and they begin to happen real time? The potential for this in your Saturn group and generation, and being that Sun Pluto, what do you feel as far as humanity and the collective are headed towards this realization of our higher potential, and just a more pop culture mainstream look at how this is going to be changing, because over the next 2 years all this is going to be changing, so it'd be nice to see, like.
so first thing I do want to say is you're on point 100%. You know this, but you're on point 100% about the pavement that the 60s, 70s, and 80s set for us. My mom is 71, and even though like we're on like some weird hiatus right now,
Mhm.
she has legit built my perception for the first like 9 years of my life, and everything else beyond that was for better or for worse. She taught me how to think for myself. And she was born in 71. Like her chart is fucking stupid. Like you think mine is retarded, hers is ridiculous.
Wow.
She's born 1971. Uh,
Virgo.
yeah,
Okay.
Earth, Grand Earth trine, all the yeah, ridiculous.
Ooh.
Yeah. So like I came from that.
Okay.
And despite like her connection to the system, like her higher self came through and kind of like informed my I guess my inner wisdom about myself, I guess.
Yeah.
But speaking on your questions as far as being 93, 94, 95, I feel like where I'm at, like my Pluto's 27 degrees Scorpio. And sometimes I feel a little Pluto Sag. I don't know if that's valid. I don't know if I'm just being extra, but like to where I feel as if I'm part of the generation that's responsible of deconstructing and destroying everything so that new things can be rebuilt. I also feel and have like a mission or a purpose that ties into actually rebuilding. So I'm like at that weird point where I've kind of bridged to I gotta be the dude to put on my destruction gloves, and then I gotta go turn around and pick up the hammer to build new shit. Um, and I know there's a lot of people out there like that, and um, it's probably like overwhelming because they kind of it's some for a while I felt like this pull in two different directions.
Mhm.
Where like, am I here to watch the world burn or am I here to put the fire out? Like, I
Ooh, can I
like
speak on that?
yeah.
Because that's the most, and that's why I'm so glad you said that, because the whole notion of Pluto Scorpio is to destroy the current world order, the illness of society. And I do see Pluto Sagittarius as the creation of that new world. So you having your sun and North Node and Jupiter on that Pluto Scorpio, I feel like those with your moon there, your sun, your rising, like you guys are more in tune than anyone of what is being destroyed, of what is being purified. And the reason why I think 94 is such an important year is, Saturn in Pisces at that crux. Like the astrology of that is fascinating. Saturn enters Pisces, Pluto goes into Sag, retrogrades, and then Saturn comes through Pisces, enters Aries, while Pluto goes back to Sag. So you guys are the single-handedly responsible for literally ending that old era and then passing the torch to Saturn Aries and Pluto Sag. And I feel like, Saturn Aquarius, the 92, 91 felt that pressure,
Mhm.
but like it might feel like a lot is on your shoulders. And it's like y'all represent the very last of that pure element, the Pluto
Wild.
Scorpio, and then the entire generation before. Because I see Pluto Sag as like the new era. Like Pluto
Mhm.
Sag and moving forward is that
Us evolving into the God level.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I feel like that Saturn, Pisces, Pluto, Scorpio is so much more important than we even know right now. And all honor to y'all. But what is it like to feel that? Like I'm sure you're aware of
Uh,
that.
it's hard. Yeah, yeah. And I think for me, um, it's kind of like bolstered by my, like I said, the Libra midheaven. To where like you kind of like what I learned, and I don't know if this is correct or not, but what I learned is that your midheaven is kind of like intertwined sort of with your north node, as it like informs where you're going in life.
I love
Uh,
that. So,
uh,
like to answer that, which what you said, what you just heard him say was very important. The MC is your legacy, and
mhm.
then your North Node is your destiny. So it's like your
Mm.
destined path, and then there's what you're meant to achieve in this lifetime, and they either align or they clash if it's squares or opposes. But yeah, it is
Yeah,
definitely correlated.
I think that's wild because the way like I interpret my Libra head based on the concept of the legacy, it's my like legacy to leave like I guess a balanced environment. I don't know what that's gonna look like. I have an
Mhm.
idea of what I want it to look like, but I don't know what's actually gonna look like. And then combining that with the Scorpio North Node, it like it sets up that you gotta do this and you gotta do this, which is why I feel like I'm kind of like that weird caught in the middle bridge kind of thing, like Spider-Man holding the ferry from splitting in half.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because like I feel like it's, and I don't want to give too much here, but I feel like it's my job to facilitate destruction in some way, but also facilitate the creation and set the foundation and build something that like the next generation could come in and then just make that much better.
Bro,
Right?
that's literally it. Everything you said was the most important thing. Linus just spelled out to you the Pluto Scorpio mission. And that's where I feel like every one of us in Pluto Scorpio, whether we're aware of it or not, that's exactly what we're doing. And you represent the final stage of that, where it's like, okay, good job, Pluto Scorpio. Boom, I'll wrap it up.
Facts.
And I love that though, because that gives me hope that okay, we're really out here doing that. This is really
Yeah.
what's happening, and that's beautiful. That's fucking beautiful.
And I think like the wildest thing, depending on how long I'm slated to live, um, I would like to. I feel like it's reflected in my chart, my energy, and the journey I've taken. But I would like to uh, be able to build up just as much as like the Pluto Sag. So where like a good example is like when they say, "Beware the old man in a profession where many die young."
Ooh,
Yeah, yeah,
ooh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I feel like that's kind of where that last 20, 27, 28, 29 Pluto Scorpio going into Pluto Sag is like. They're going
yeah,
to be the old men and the old women, or the old individuals in a profession where many of the young heads died already.
yeah.
Um, and that kind of,
Juice World, XXX. Yeah.
yes, 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 yes.
Mhm.
So a lot of y'all are going to be the J. Coles and the Kendricks in an industry where you got all the young heads coming up and barely making it.
Like the leaders of the new school. You confirm
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
And
Like J.
the
Cole's in
vision
the
I
middle
had
class.
with I have chills right now, by the way. The vision I had with you just saying that is like there was the old school. There were all the people who kind of, because if even let's use the hip hop game, for example, like you have
Mhm.
the old school of rappers, now you have the new school of rappers. And that's why I love that you said J. Cole, because he is kind of like, I feel like personally, it's almost as if like you were going to go in as the last part of the old school, but
Mhm.
then spirit was like you're
Mm.
you're gonna lead the new school with that wisdom, so it's like, which is really dope.
And that also sets up another like situation where it's like you feel benched and it's just like,
You feel benched, yes,
yes,
yeah,
it's like, and you're like, put me in, coach, put me in, coach, put me in, coach, and God's like, nah, I got something for
right,
you. Nah, hold
right.
up.
Right.
And she's like, I'm ready. And it's like, we know, but that's not what you're here for. Like,
Yeah.
give me your plan and I'm gonna give you one better and just sit tight. So when it so I don't know if there's anybody that feels like they got nothing to show. Like I feel like I have very little to show three-dimensionally, so to speak.
Yes, that is so
For
key. That is
yeah.
so key. Yes, yes, yes.
But like Elisha was saying, if you catch me out in the ether in 5D, like there's palaces and obviously whatever that you picture as building and creating
Right.
something from the ground up. And I kind of picture it as like obviously we have to build the foundation here, and then
Yeah.
we have to do the inner work that anchors everything from the top down. So where you kind of build like a beautiful like suspension arc that not only comes from the bottom and doesn't only come from the top, because if it only comes from the bottom, you gotta build it like the Tower of Babel, and we know how that went. But if you
Yeah.
build it from the but if we build it from the top down, it's
Love
like a
that.
tornado, and there's nothing for it to anchor to, and it has a chance of fizzling out, just like a tornado. So
Yeah.
when you're forced to build that foundation to have them meet in the middle, it creates a sense of balance that very few people are put in charge of, and that is humbling and it's a lot of responsibility.
I just love the whole bench quote because that's really what it's felt like. It's like put me in the game. And now that we're coming into our Saturn returns, a lot of the thing is like some of you couldn't be in the game because if you were in the game, certain people wouldn't be eaten. Certain people wouldn't
Exactly.
be able to feed their families because they
Yeah.
can't have a career while you have a career. You just expose everything they do. So it's like now that you guys have done your thing, now it's time to dead all that.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
people coming through about to kill the whole industry. That's what I
Right.
feel
It's
heavy.
like we see you out here making millions. We
Yeah,
see
yeah.
you making billions, but guess what? It's Mansa Musa time. You feel me? Let
It's
me
Mansa Musa. Thank you. You had to lie to feed your family. It's cool. At least you fed your family, but it's
yeah.
time for the real shit to come
Right
back.
now
Cool.
authenticity is here, and we're
Yep.
gonna do it the hard way, and we're gonna drag it from the ground. But when it's done, it's going to be a template for everybody that comes after. So
I love that
nobody's got to lie
template.
again. Nobody's got to put themselves in a position where they feel compromised again. Nobody got to assume the position again. It's straight authenticity. And if you got it, you got it. And if you don't worry because you can learn it
You
because
could
the
develop
template
it.
is
Yep.
there. Yes.
I love that you said template. That was fire. And that is so true. That is so true. And it's the blueprint that is coming through once again. The those who have chosen themselves and moved forward. Echoist wants to know what's your superpower as of today.
My superpower as of today, I would say, is not taking my thoughts too seriously. And
Nice.
obviously like you kind of have that journey, but it's like today it's like there's an emphasis on you see something, you experience something, let it play out first, give your brain the chance to monkey brain out, lizard brain out, and
Mhm.
step back, be present, and then when it's done, that's when the real information comes in. And because you gave yourself the chance to listen and perceive all of
Mhm.
that, let all that come through,
Mhm.
the downloads are coming in a way that you probably would not have been privy to had you reacted to the first set of thoughts that would have made you pissed. So
That's a word. Thank
yeah,
you.
so today it's like expressively, explicitly, actively being present and observing the thoughts that come, and you get some gems coming in. Yeah.
That's something I've been playing with my Gemini. Like I use my Gemini sun to shadow box. So I'll just like register thoughts and instantly react like the person's there like that's why this da, 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 da. And it's fun but like it does kind of keep you in a wild state instead of just letting it flow and like really listening to what's happening, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely going to practice for sure. That's
I believe I've got like a pseudo version of that. Uh, that's a bit
right.
darker because my Mercury is in Scorpio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like
So it's
Mercury,
not just an idea for you like me, you're actually connected to the
yeah, like it's like all the that whole back and forth that you have in your brain from like Geminiing, like there's a very real possibility that I can kind of make it my reality with it
oh
real dark
yeah.
if I don't temper it and cut it. So like
Okay.
it's not nearly to like I guess like the potency or intensity of like what I guess like a true Gemini is, but that Mercury does something to you if you
Like
don't.
imagine if like I can channel your spirit and then have a conversation with you, and I would say everything you would say in that conversation. That's kind of what I do with the collective and
Yes.
feel it. But I feel like with that Gemini energy, I don't register it as really happening versus at the Scorpio end, it's like you know who it's tuning into,
Yeah.
like that, which is like,
Yeah. And then I'll sit there and look at you like, why does this nigga know so much?
yo, holy shit, that's wild. Yeah,
But like
man.
I enjoy it because it sets up an energetic like back and forth in a good way, that kind of, because the collective is connected, like everybody's connected. So when that back and forth happens, it like, when you grow, everybody you're connected to grows, whether they realize it or not.
Hmm.
So it's almost like they talk about the whole iron sharpens iron. We're kind of just like doing that for each other. And even though sometimes we may come across each other's path, and the iron may feel like an actual sword fight, like an actual conflict, you're just making us better, so that when we circle back around and it's go time, like it's war time, like tribulation is done and it's time to make it happen. Everybody's like evolved. And you're like, hey, what you got? I got this really cool golden gauntlet that summons lightning from beyond the 12th dimension. What you got? Oh yeah, well, I've got this awesome Nodashi made of light that can slice through dimensions. And you're like, okay, I see you. This is gonna be fun. So
I love that. I also felt I had a theory. I have a theory that Scorpio is connected to the act of summoning, and I don't have anything to back it up. But what do you feel about that? Any of you with Scorpio energy? Like, I don't know. I don't want to think that it's limited to one zodiac sign. But when I think of the act of summoning anything from another space to here, I think of Scorpio for some reason.
you know, I could see that. Um, I would ask you what you mean, but my first thought was, and I actually had this conversation with a couple people, and Buddha as well. So yes, don't get me started on the concept of sex and magic and the sex magic. And don't we're gonna
We should have talked about that the whole time.
we're,
Wish I
we're gonna,
could.
we go
Are we gonna need a part 2 for that? We're gonna need
we're
a part.
gonna come back to that one.
All right,
But
cool,
like
cool.
I real yeah. Actually, Elisha, from anywhere, at least from my experience, I feel like when you're just starting out as like a base level Scorpio, it'd be from the underworld to the physical world. Because I know a lot of y'all have come across some low vibe ass Scorpios, right? And I promise, they got a purpose. You may not want to think, oh, well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Queen.
I'm starting to think that every Scorpio, like now that I'm older, I don't think I've really met an evil Scorpio versus Scorpios who are just betrayed and went to the dark, if that makes sense. Like they didn't
Yeah.
heal from their
So
wounds.
I was actually talking to an older gentleman today, and he was talking about how the original definition of sin, it came from archery. I don't know how true this is, but it was an interesting concept nonetheless. He said that the original definition of sin was when you were shooting and you
Missed the
missed.
mark. You missed the mark.
Yes, you
He's
missed
right.
the mark.
He's right. That's what it
And,
means.
and evil is where the arrow lands after missing the mark.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
deep.
so like it's wild. Like we had literally just legit had that conversation like 2 hours ago. So
Okay.
I think what
So,
happened.
however farther you miss the mark is how much more evil you
Yes,
are.
yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
that's deep.
Um,
Okay.
and the concept of like purity, I guess, that has been attached to Scorpio, you either hit or you don't.
Mm-hmm,
If
mm-hmm.
you hit,
Yes,
if you
I
hit,
needed to hear
if
that.
like if you're hit, you're
Yes,
lit. If you're hit, you're lit.
yes,
If you don't, you fucked up. Try again. Sorry, start over. Q Q
yes.
Q.
Okay,
Start
that
over.
was like a click for me right now
Sent
when
back
you
to the
said
lobby screen. Yeah. So,
that.
I think where a lot of Scorpios kind of they go into that is they get wrapped up in their own subconscious, unconscious proclivity to be drawn to purity,
Yeah,
and they, I guess, on some level feel as if there's some sort of uncleanliness within them, so they kind of just go off the deep end, as opposed to like saying, all right, hold up. Purity doesn't mean it's all or nothing. Purity means that you're always willing to do the work, because purification, sometimes the process works, sometimes it doesn't. Where things become more pure is when you tweak the process so that your success rate is far higher than your loss rate, and at some point you get to 100% success, which is why, like, when you said Scorpio is like dark Virgo or extra Virgo, I'm like, this guy is, because your Virgo is obsessed with that perfection, and
Yeah.
I've met a lot of Virgos that were tweaking, but in their defense, it is really hard for someone who is the embodiment of perfection to function in a society that was fundamentally built to be imperfect. So all you
Yeah.
Virgos that's dealing with some shit, you got
That's why
this.
they have so much stress and anxiety, because they're too real in a fake world. That's really
Yes,
what it comes down to. Yeah.
yes. Like you can't be out here talking code when we're supposed to be fighting this boss battle who's got like 3 million HP. Like that doesn't work. Like,
Right.
so the concept of like the whole perfection, when you said it goes an extra layer for Scorpio, is like it's all or nothing, which is why a lot of us end up obsessed as fuck, and it's retarded. It's not
Yeah.
retarded. I have
Yeah.
my obsessions.
Scorpio's the purest. It's like a Boosie who just doesn't make excuses for snitches because he's pure. Like he goes
Exactly,
all the way in.
exactly.
And one thing that I love about the archery example is that's what Virgo and Scorpio taught me. Virgo is the perception of being precise. It's like, how close to perfection can I get? And then Scorpio is specificity.
Yes,
Scorpio is getting specific to there,
yes,
which is the arrow of Sagittarius with the Scorpio stinger that hits the target.
yes.
Which,
Which is why, like, if you, sorry, not to interrupt, my
no,
bad.
you're straight. You're straight.
But
Yeah.
which is why, if you ever watch a conversation that gets heated between a Virgo and a Scorpio, they end up 9 times out of 10 arguing semantics.
Semantics is always Virgo arguments are 99.9% semantics.
But
Completely.
but
Yeah.
the thing is, like, it's supposed to be that way, because if
Yeah.
definitions are a thing, words are vibrations. The definitions of those words inform you to the vibrational level or intensity of that word. And existence is a very, very precise equation. I like to say that chaos isn't randomness, right? Order is an equation that we know the variables to. Chaos is an equation that there's so many variables, it's near infinite, and we don't know the variables to. But when
Mhm.
you're a Virgo, when you understand that, right, you know that different definitions, different words point to different vibrations, and because the equation is so precise, you can't be off. You have
Yeah.
to be on,
Yeah. Right.
right? So the and I think that's why our society has created the concept of, oh, you're just arguing semantics, to
Right.
consistently gaslight the people that recognize how intricate that equation actually is.
Like,
So
like
when
you know
you,
what you taught me right now, and I hate to interrupt you, but
no, you're good. My bad.
it was
We're enjoying it.
my Cancer sister married a Libra, and the Libra has Mercury in Virgo, and she has Mercury in Gemini. And like they'll have those semantic battles. Like she'll say, no, the answer is 4 + 6 = 10. And then he'll be like, no, the answer is 10 = 6 + 4. You know what I mean? Just like, and then I realized Scorpio is third house of Gemini from Virgo. So
Hmm.
I did, it's interesting to see on that side too. But yeah.
Right. So and going off that, all of that is kind of why, when at least from my perspective, when Scorpio speaks, right, we have that same understanding of vibration that Virgo has, but we also understand what the semantics and the word switch that Gemini does can create. Like, so 4 + 6 = 10 is two separate energies coming together to create one, but 10 equals 4 + 6, or 6 + 4 is this energy is comprised of these two
Yeah,
energies. But
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
that difference is important, because how is it that you're getting there?
Oh, that's so
If
deep.
you don't
And I feel
recognize
like
the
Gemini
vehicle,
doesn't care about that, but Virgo cares about that.
yes,
Has to be
and
where it's
that's why Gemini. I don't know where I'm getting all this shit from, but
at.
that's
Yeah,
why Gemini, I feel like, gets the whole two-faced thing. But it's not
yeah,
two-faced. It's just y'all recognize the duality of how the situation can work,
yeah,
right? And
yeah,
to Queendom's point, it can equate to manipulation from Gemini, but
yeah.
when it's operating in the yin, it's not manipulation. It's where that mother energy comes in. This has to be done this way, otherwise you get hurt, and I don't want to see you hurt because I love you. That's where that maternal energy comes from. Because you know
I
how,
used, and I'm so glad you said that about net with imagination, because um I used to think Gemini was the yang of Mercury and Virgo was the yin, but now I
Mhm.
realize Gemini is actually the yin. through the thoughts, and then Virgo is the yang that makes it real, or
Yes.
analyzes the reality of it.
Yes. That masculine to the feminine, that
Yeah.
structure to the rogue vibration, so to speak. So
Gemini is like the masculine yin, and Virgo is the feminine yang.
that's fire. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
great.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That just adds a whole nother level to the struggle of Virgos in this world.
Yeah.
I promise I'm not laughing at y'all.
No, yeah, no, it's crazy. That's why I always like to joke that, as much as I want to complain, at least I'm not Virgo, because Virgo has to really deal with the bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, it is
Yeah.
what it is. But
And the sad thing is 9 times out of 10 to be coming from themselves, because like they got that inner shit to deal with. Right. So and ironically enough, I've only met 2 types of Virgos in my life. I'm pretty sure there's more, but there's stop. Yeah. I've only met 2 types of Virgos in my life, and I know there's more. I just haven't come across them yet. The ones that look like they got it together, but when you get on the inside, it's dusty as a motherfucker. And then those that look dusty but are actually valid. So like
Okay.
that, yeah. So it's like this weird dichotomy that I've come across.
Mutability, yeah. And it's like, I love that whole thing, how they say Virgo and Scorpio used to be one sign,
I
or
can see that.
or maybe in constellations, I don't know, but
I can see
yeah,
that.
man.
And then ironically enough, where Libra comes in is I see like the yeah, Forest Fairy, you need to stop looking at me because I feel too seen right now. Sorry. No, but where I see the zodiac as like a flower blooming, and it expands and contracts and expands and contracts, where Virgo is that expansion. Libra is like that contraction back to homeostasis or balance, because it knows the danger of going to Scorpio. So which is interesting, because it's like they're caught in the middle. Why are they so like different? But they're not different. They just realize that what being too radical to one end can do to the perception of the reality that you're in. And I could be wrong, but I don't know. We'll see.
I love that analogy too. The fixed signs are definitely the edge lords of the zodiac, and don't push me close to the edge. I feel like the edge is Scorpio.
That's
personally.
funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So
Yeah.
y'all might like
Like
teeter.
that time. Yeah.
So, bro, this is an amazing conversation. Thank you so much for joining us. We are definitely going to have you back for sure.
I appreciate it.
We could definitely talk more about the sex stuff for sure.
Ah, boy. All right.
That'll be and in fact, it would be interesting to get that, because the Sun Pluto alien construct is Sun Pluto, especially in Scorpio, understands the true nature of sex, death, birth, rebirth, and whatnot. So that would be interesting. But other than that, I do have the links below. How can people reach you? Do you have anything after that you want to mention as well?
Well, links. Obviously, I'm on YouTube. I just did this like 2 months ago. I'm gonna start posting again. Like I said, I just had this faith journey that took some time, but I'm getting back into it. But I'm on YouTube. I'm in pursuit of godliness. Same thing on Instagram. I'm on TikTok as well, but like I'm still getting that sort of. I'm terrible with the social media. Like I'm not even going front. But if y'all bear with me, I'm getting better. I'm working on getting better equipment, because my sound quality be ass sometimes. Like I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all. But that just may be an overcriticization of myself. It is what it is. But that's pretty much where y'all can reach me. And like I said, I'm not expecting anything from CashApp, but if y'all do, I appreciate it. And I am looking forward to another peace talk. But the part is when I spoke to you about it like 2 months ago, I was like, it'd be cool if I had a peace talk on my birthday that was 170, because 17 is I think like a number in gematria that's connected to God and Yahweh, and that would be like God sent. If I ended up doing it on my birthday and it was 170 and it reduced to 17, only for me to find out it was a new moon, and I'm like, this is perfect. And I got locked out for 3 weeks, and I got back in like 2 days, and it was like perfect timing. Yeah, it was like there were things I had to learn and clear out. And the test was that if I made it, then I guess manifest what it is I was looking for, and if not, I would have to wait. But here we are, so I take it as test passed, and I'm grateful.
Beautiful, original purity here in the flesh, and it's an incredible expression. Y'all stay blessed as always. Thank you for tuning in. Lyness, it has been an honor. It has been a pleasure. We will definitely keep in touch. And
Definitely.
you have a blessed week, bro.
You too. Y'all be safe.
All right. Y'all stay blessed.